terms of the injuries, how do you sort of manage that now? Obviously, especially at center back, you have Bill, you have Dielna. Maybe you can speak to what other options you might have there in case you need to make a move, but how do you sort of manage Cascante and Mabiala and maybe Jadama still being out?
First of all, looking forward for some positive results to make sure that they can come back earlier than we anticipate. And then that's an opportunity for many other players to be able to adjust, to be able to help. The team is always strong when everybody pushes the same direction, and I think this should be a motivation for us to do even better instead of looking at who we don't have. It's just now it's better for us to be able to say this is what we can do and this is what we're allowed. We're capable of doing, and just we need to now focus on what we need to focus and make sure that we do what is in our hands to do. So I think we have enough players to be able to battle through it, and hopefully we're going to be able to make the right decisions.
Looking ahead to this weekend, you talked specifically about I think focus and staying calm, especially on defense after the game. How important is that going to be when you try to maybe put in a little bit of a better defensive performance, maybe not allow goals coming out right out of halftime and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think the similarities between the two games that we play, Atlanta and Seattle, I thought were very similar in regards to the way the game play out. Of course, two different styles, two different challenges of each team, but ultimately it was a similar situation as you mentioned. The goal right after a minute in the second half, something that we cannot allow. The moments in which we're very, very good, and then we lack that effort in some moments. So we need to be a little more consistent, but it's something that has happened not only these two matches. And we have to step up. There's a lot of good things. We show the video. There's many, many good things that we did. I think we had chances in both games, a lot of chances to be able to capitalize and get even a win. And even though we're so critical about ourselves, it's because I think that we believe that our group is capable of doing an amazing thing. So that's what we're so demanding. But if we look at the games, we created many opportunities. We had very good moments, and we just have to stay focused in making sure that we are more consistent.
In terms of making the most of the home games, obviously right now you guys are dropped a little bit below the red line again. To keep moving the standings and make the most of those home games, do you think it's about making some key changes, or just more about making sure the guys are focused?
No, it's more about making sure that we stay on the same page through the entire match, more than than who's going to play, because at the end of the day, there's a belief in each player that we have that is going to be able to get the job done, and it's more about focusing and making sure that we're more steady. We still have 1 or 2 or 3 games behind some of the teams that are above us, so we still have a lot in our hands to be able to make the playoff, but we need to make sure that we take that into our hands and start making more points now at home.
And on the attacking side, obviously Brian has been tremendous for you guys in many games, but he only had 1 shot in the game over the weekend. It didn't seem like you guys were making as much of an impact as you guys would have wanted. What do you need to make sure you're getting the most out of him every game? And there has been some talk about how would he do on the wing. Is that something you've thought about?
I think it's funny when some people talk and they think that they have all the solutions. We have a way of seeing things maybe different than other people. We have thought about every scenario possible. This is not Liga MX. This is a different league, and we believe in our players, in what they're capable of doing. And the good thing is that we have flexibility, and the guys can do really well. So we have fully trust of what we're doing, and we're going to continue to go forward the same way.
In terms of maybe not positionally, but in terms of getting the most out of Brian, getting the most out of players like Blanco, who maybe didn't have as much of an impact in the last game, what do you guys need to do that?
Yeah, I disagree. I think Blanco was very effective, very good. Maybe a couple of decisions at the end of in 3/4 of the field. I think maybe he could have made a few decisions differently, but he was very good in many instances. I think as forward, sometimes it's gonna happen. Sometimes you're gonna have difficult days that you mark, that some things that they don't work out your way. You're minimum in maybe an offside position in a goal that you score, because sometimes strikers need one to be able to capitalize. Not like the one before that he scored. Should have been a goal, wasn't given to him. So it happens. It's sometimes that stretch, that you don't find that clear situation. But I thought he made some very good movements. Many times he was in the right area, but unfortunately we couldn't find him. And it's about continuing to stay in our direction. But there's fully trust in all of those players.